Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome to the Thenaturalmedic Adventures. My name is Craig, and today I'm in Gearing, Nebraska, looking at Scotts Bluff. I'm at Scotts Bluff National Monument, and Scotts Bluff National Monument protects 3,000 acres in the Nebraska Panhandle. You can see all these interesting rock formations all around us here. So the namesake, Scotts Bluff, is right behind me, that large formation over there, but there's other named rock formations. I believe this one behind me over here, if I can get it lined up right, is called Jailhouse Rock. I don't know if that's what Elvis got as inspiration for him. I don't know. Lots of stuff to do here. Several trails. You can actually drive up to the summit of Scotts Bluff, which I'm fixing to do that in just a few minutes. Why don't you come with me as we explore Scotts Bluff National Monument. So how about a closer view of Scotts Bluff? How's that for close? So I'm walking this somewhat paved trail. It's called the Oregon Trail. It's just a remnant of where the Oregon Trail would have passed, or approximately would have passed back in the day. I know some of you that are my age probably played that game growing up on the computer in school. I remember playing it. It was a lot of fun. It actually was a real thing. People were moving west from the central U.S., what we call the eastern U.S., and going towards Oregon territory or California or Mormon territory. Or there was also the Pony Express. All of those kind of were expressed here at Scotts Bluff. This served as a landmark for all of those groups traveling west. Pretty fascinating stuff. If you're ever out here, definitely need to visit this place. All right, I'm at the end of the Oregon Trail that's part of the park here at Scotts Bluff. You can see the bluffs behind me and the rock formations. Sentinel Rock, Eagle Rock, Scotts Bluffs behind me. You can even see the road that you can drive through several tunnels all the way to the top, which I'm going to do shortly. Coming over here, there's actually some interesting things. You have a guy right here, William Henry Jackson, who started off as a bullwhacker in 1866. There's a self-portrait of himself. He was an artist. He actually became one of the most well-known people that was an artist in that time period. He's credited with painting a lot of the things that happened in the different national parks out here in the West. Interestingly enough, he started off as a bullwhacker, moving these wagon trains to the west as settlement went to the west. Down there where the road is, that's Mitchell Pass down there. That was the new trail that was created after Robideau Pass, which I'm thinking is right behind me here, like over this way. Like this is Robideau Pass. But it might be on the other side, actually. I'm not exactly sure at the moment. I'll correct that later if that's not the case. But Robideau Pass had a trading post and blacksmiths and stuff, but it was a harder trail to traverse. And the Mitchell Pass was actually a little bit easier for the wagons to get through, which went right where the road is going right now, and took you to the river a lot sooner. Think about in those days, there was no permanent settlements out here. You didn't have places like a Walmart to go stop in and get your things that you needed. Think about that one. Over here you can see these ruts right there, actually, where the bluffs have been chewed down by the wagons going through by the hundreds and thousands over time. Can you imagine that? Just traveling through this foreign terrain from the eastern U.S. Pretty crazy. And just to reiterate my point here, take a look at these. This is like a replica of the yokes of oxen and the smaller wagons. They weren't the big Conestoga wagons that you think about, like you've seen maybe in Gunsmoke or some Western or more modern era. These were the smaller wagons. So you didn't have the ability to carry that many supplies along with your family and things like that. Imagine having that go through this type of terrain. That's rough. And you haven't even made it to the Rocky Mountains yet. This was the significant point that you would realize tougher terrain is ahead. So don't worry, I'm stopped, but I'm in my vehicle. I'm gonna go up this road and up on top of Scotts Bluff. Join me. Alright, I apologize in advance for the wind, but you're looking at a land of extremes here. Look over there at Saddle Rock, and there's all these cracks in that rock, many layers of it that you can see exposed. And then the other ones, of course, as well. That's what happened to these different layers. I'm at the South Overlook on top of Scotts Bluff. And the reason these are here is because this was layers laid down over many years, millions of years, from an inland sea that was here where the Great Plains are now. And then the Platte River came in and started to erode everything that you see. Look out that way, you have the town of Gering, sorry, if I'm mispronouncing it. And you can see the Platte River in the distance. On the other side of the river is Scotts Bluff, Nebraska. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And that's the road that I drove up. One of the tunnels that you go through on the way up. Wow, what an interesting place. So right here I'm at the North Overlook on top of Scotts Bluff. Down here is Saddle Rock Trail. It goes all the way to the Visitor Center. It's about a 1.6 mile trip, one way I believe. So I guess it's like 3.2 round trip. The Overlook is over here. It's still windy up here, but it's not nearly as windy at this particular site because there's trees and some rock formations around to block some of that wind, unlike at the South Overlook. But if you look out here, the town of Gering is below North Platte River, and the town of Scotts Bluff on the other side. Looks like the airport over there too. Pretty cool. Wow, what a spectacular sight. Glad I came out here today. I want to show you something pretty cool. Check this out. Look what that arrow says. It's pointing 120 miles away to Laramie Peak. Hey, I was just on Laramie Peak like last weekend when I'm filming this. Isn't that crazy? So it's supposed to be way out there following that arrow. It's a little bit hazy in the distance. I don't see it, but it's out there. Just trust me, I was just on it. Now down below us is what they call the Orella Badlands, which is a smaller version of the Badlands National Park up in South Dakota. 500 acres of the park is considered the Badlands. It's just softer soil that just erodes away. You can see a lot of ravines where the soil is just eroded away just due to water and wind and that kind of stuff. And probably snow. I'm sure this area gets a lot of snow in the wintertime. And that's what happens. Over here we have the town of Gering. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And on the north side of the river we have Scotts Bluff. Are you one of those model employees at work? Just think about it. We're talking about Hiram Scott. He was an employee of the Rocky Mountain Fur Company. He died in the vicinity of this bluff, and it was named after him. And he was deserted by his companions near the junction of the Laramie and North Platte rivers. Sad times, sad times. Hey, for being a good employee, you get maybe a parking space and a free gift card or something like that. Hiram Scott died in the vicinity here. He got a whole bluff named after him. Okay, folks, I'll leave you with this final thought here. Scotts Bluff, it's eroding away. That's the benchmark showing the height of the monument, height of the bluff, 4,649 feet according to the sign here. And it was level with the ground in 1933 when it was put in there. And now you see it actually is eroding down. It's like when I tell that story around the campfire about how much soil we're losing every year. And nobody got scared. Anyway, they do have lots of signs on this trail that says stay on the trail. So if you do come here, make sure you do stay on the trail. There are lots of rocks that could erode or have eroded or weathered and may be unstable underneath your foot. So they have the trail in a safe area for you to enjoy and not die while you're here at the Scotts Bluff National Monument. It's already named after Hiram Scott. Be safe out there, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.